please remember to like and subscribe. Imagine holding on to a grudge for over 30 years. Waking up every day thinking about that moment that you were slighted for 30 years. I'm sure over that 30 years there were other accomplishments, goals that you've completed that meant something to you. But that thing that happened 30 years ago is still as current in your mind as your latest accomplishments. That is the life of Isiah Thomas. Not being on that first dream team ruined his life in his head. He's gone on to be considered one of the greatest point guards of all time. People still revere him as one of the greats and look to his wisdom on current events. But not being able to be on that dream team in '92 was the moment that keeps playing back in his head. And I believe that's why he can provide some great commentary and then some backhanded commentary when it comes to Michael Jordan. Because after all, it was multiple players that said they didn't want him on that team, but to be honest, if Mike was cool with it, he would have been there. When we hold on to these grudges for that long, that's when bitterness starts to creep in. That's when those chips on the shoulder begin to come bigger and bigger. And some of us can never get past that. You know, there's tons of interviews with Isiah giving real takes about how he feels about Michael Jordan and his legacy and Michael's impact on the game and how it evolved and what that legacy meant to the NBA. But then there's these takes that you can tell it's just like, that's that motherfucker that kept me off the team. Fuck that nigga. And he gives these other takes that don't even make sense, where he will put other guards ahead of Michael. And you know it's not real. You know it's not real. It's that grudge. It's that feeling of that one thing this man did to me 30 years ago. I can never let that shit go. He fucked up my life. At some point, as we grow, we just got to let those things go. I know it can hurt being slighted, especially when you know that you're qualified. It can hurt bad. But holding on to those grudges actually hurt us more than it's ever going to hurt that other person that may have slighted us. And hey, look, Jordan was not perfect. So I completely understand how Isiah Thomas feels about the way that he is glorified sometimes. But I have to say, in the 30 years since the Dream Team, since the Bad Boys, since that era, I have never once heard Isiah take any responsibility for his actions, for the things that he did. The Bad Boys wore that distinction with pride at the time. I remember. There was Bad Boy merch, insignia, all that stuff. But now how Thomas tells it, everybody was bad. Everybody was dirty. I was the nice guy. I don't know why y'all picking on me like this. Not once have I heard him say, you know what? Hey, we were a little rowdy back then. You know, we weren't the nicest guys. And I can admit that now in my older age. Instead, he makes more excuses for his actions than the WNBA. The NBA did this. The fans did this. The media did this. Everybody was doing this. We just got picked on for it. And while some of that may be true, I believe as men, we all have to be accountable for what we've done. And until we're ready to do that, that chip is going to keep growing and keep growing. Yeah, I wish Isiah was on that Dream Team too. He definitely deserved to be there. But even with never appearing on the Dream Team, Isiah had a hell of a career. One of the best point guards, top five point guards, definitely in my book. Thank y'all for checking me out today. As always, this video was brought to you today by OnlyFans.